Hello and welcome to Haunted Montreal's Spooky Story Sessions. I'm your host, Holly Rhiannon, and today I'm going to tell you all about the Cinémathèque Québécoise. Here at Haunted Montreal, we bring you ghost stories in both French and English every Saturday. Before we get into today's story, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you get notified every time we have a new tale to share. And hey, if you're already subscribed, a big thank you and welcome back. We're so happy to have you. Now without further ado, let's get spooky. Montreal's hip Quartier Latin neighborhood plays host to numerous theaters, cinemas, cultural and educational facilities. Located in the eastern part of the Quartier de Spectacle, the area is renowned for both entertainment and education. La Cinémathèque Québécoise is a government-funded film library set in an old Catholic elementary school that screens movies which were often made in Quebec. A popular cinematic diversion in a bustling area, the facility is enjoyed by thousands of local cinephiles and tourists every year. However, despite the cinema's jovial atmosphere, there are persistent rumors that the building is haunted by the ghost of a little schoolgirl. Janitors have reported seeing her on many occasions, and in 2005, the girl's spirit was spotted by an employee in one of the projection rooms clutching a stack of books. Could the ghost be one of the school's former students? And if so, why is she haunting the building? Looking at the history of the vicinity, Montreal's red light district was bursting at the seams in the same area in the 1920s. The ramshackle neighborhood was characterized not only for its numerous brothels and prostitutes working the street corners, but also by its rampant poverty and severe overcrowding. Never the best place to raise children, the red light district was an unsanitary and dangerous place to be at times. Not only was rampant violence a common theme in the neighborhood, but older children, usually female, were also at risk for being recruited and trafficked by unscrupulous pimps. Religious authorities with the Catholic School Commission of Montreal intervened and had the Saint-Jacques Boys' School built in the heart of the red light district in 1921. Located on the corner of Saguenay and de Montagny Street, now de Maisonneuve, it was designed to serve the Saint-Jacques parish. The following year, the Jean Mance School for Girls was erected immediately east of the boys' school, forming a small zone where youth could focus on education instead of all the endless shenanigans unfolding throughout the red light district. Just one block north, for example, existed Canada's most notorious brothel at 312 Ontario Street, where 80 prostitutes worked in 3 shifts around the clock. Opened for business from World War I until the 1950s, the first floor of the building included a smoky salon to drink, dance, and socialize. The upper floors of the brothel were described as a honeycomb of approximately 80 small rooms, where locals, tourists, and soldiers could experience prostitution. 312 Ontario was run by a notorious manager named Madame Bob and was located just across from Police Station Number 4. From the window of his office, the commanding officer could clearly see the debauchery, although he usually chose to turn a blind eye. The teachers at the Jean Mance School for Girls, all nuns, wanted to ensure their charges were protected from the debauchery associated with the red light district and 312 Ontario. The nuns were very strict and taught handwriting, history, and grammar, among other subjects, including catechism to ward off any sinful thoughts. Nuns were known to punish students by smacking them with rulers, especially if they wrote with their left hand, which was seen as a sign of the devil. For decades, the nuns diligently educated their Catholic schoolgirls, and slowly, on the heels of World War II, the neighborhood began to change. The red light district slowly began to fade after the Canadian Army ordered it shut down because their soldiers were contracting too many sexually transmitted infections, endangering the overall war effort. By 1968, Quebec's education system was transforming from a religious system to a more secular one. After 45 years of teaching Catholic schoolgirls, the nuns decided to change their mission to social work and religious engagement. They replaced the nuns' habit with street clothing and set to work among the destitute. 2 of them continued teaching at the school with a new clientele of itinerants and others in need. In 1978, the nuns finally moved away to teach at Collège Regina Assumpta on Gouin Boulevard, leaving the Jean Mance School for Girls empty. Meanwhile, the Cinémathèque Québécoise was founded in 1963 with a mission to preserve and document film and television heritage in order to make it available to an ever-growing and diversifying public. It hosts an extensive collection, which includes tens of thousands of films, television programs, posters, photos, pieces of historical equipment, scripts, production files, books, magazines, props, costumes, and other items associated with the film industry. In 1982, the Cinémathèque Québécoise acquired the old Jean Mance School and moved into the premises. From 1994 to 1997, the complex was extensively redesigned and enlarged by the architectural firm Saucier and Perrot, earning the 1999 Governor General's Award for Architecture. Everything seemed to be going very well at the Cinémathèque Québécoise until an unexplained incident in 2005, which left many of the staff members feeling deeply disturbed. In October 2005, staff at the Cinémathèque Québécoise were alarmed by a spike in paranormal activity in the building. As Halloween approached, strange, inexplicable sightings and unexplained phenomena became more and more frequent. A young woman was working as a ticket taker and one evening found herself in one of the projection rooms. As the film rolled, she witnessed the ghostly figure of a little girl clutching a stack of school books enter the cinema. Not believing her eyes, she began inquiring among other staff members to see if they too had noticed any sign of this schoolgirl. The janitor, who worked at the Cinémathèque at the time, confirmed that the ghost had been spotted many times over the years, but he had no explanation as to who she was or why she was haunting the old school-cum-Cinémathèque. Rumors of the haunting continued to circulate over the years, and in March 2015, Journal 123 reported that the Cinémathèque Québécoise was one of the 5 most haunted sites in all of Quebec. Staff currently working at the Cinémathèque seem unaware of any ghost presently haunting the premises. When questioned, the receptionist at the venue said those who witnessed the ghost no longer work there, and they don't even have their contact details anymore. The current film librarian added that she was not even aware of a ghost story at the Cinémathèque. The janitor in question was no longer employed by the library, and she did not know the ticket taker who worked there in 2005. All other attempts to glean information about the hauntings from present staff have been met with silence. However, other avenues of research have proven to be more fruitful. The story is spelled out in detail in Histoire paranormale au Québec, a book of ghostly and paranormal tales compiled by Thomas Charles Vachon and Eloise Trainel. In the second chapter, entitled Le Petit Spectre de la Cinémathèque, or The Little Ghost of the Cinémathèque, the authors relay this particular ghost story in more detail. Apparently, the name of the ticket taker was Kate, and during the evening of the paranormal incident, she was working as an usher for an experimental film festival. She was sitting in a near-empty cinema, in the section reserved for ushers, watching a strange film roll. Kate was sleepy and began to feel her eyelids drooping. She was about to doze off when she noticed a little girl enter the cinema, clutching what she assumed to be the festival's program. Kate whispered to the girl to take a seat without bothering to check her ticket, because she did not want to bother the handful of cinephiles watching the film. The little girl paid no attention to Kate. Frustrated, Kate made a waving gesture to motion that the girl should take a seat. Again, there was no reaction. The experimental film at this point became very bright, with a snowy televisual effect unfolding, which lit up the cinema. Kate noticed that the light seemed to stream right through the little girl, who now appeared ghostly and transparent. Kate assumed it was an optical illusion from the film, so she rubbed her eyes, but the ghostly girl was still there. Kate tried to speak to the girl, but no words came out. She felt as though her mouth and body had become paralyzed. Speechless, she could only stare at the phantom schoolgirl in horror. Suddenly, the ghostly image began to fade, and the little girl rushed towards a wall before disappearing into thin air. Kate's paralysis instantly subsided, and shocked, she blinked her eyes to make sure she had control of her body and was relieved to realize that she did. When the film ended, Kate turned on the lights and inspected the cinema, deeply disturbed by her experience that evening. Was she losing her mind? When she approached a close colleague with her story, her friend told her not to worry, explaining that it was not an isolated incident. Her colleague explained that since 1982, when the Cinémathèque opened in the old Jean Mance School for girls, the Phantom Schoolgirl had been spotted on many occasions, but only in the section of the enlarged and renovated building where the old school had existed. According to the janitor who worked there, the Phantom Schoolgirl was always seen clutching a stack of school books. Kate realized now that it was not the festival program the girl had been carrying, but rather those same books. Over the next several weeks, Kate continued looking for answers and heard rumors that a girl had once died in a fire in the old Jean Mance School for Girls. There was some speculation that the fire had occurred in an older version of the school before it was rebuilt in the Red Light District in 1922. One theory suggested that the girl who had died in the fire was such a good student that she returned to the new school to continue her education, albeit in a paranormal sort of way. Despite the school's closure and ultimate repurposing into the Cinémathèque Québécoise, it appeared that the ghostly girl, perhaps unaware, continued to haunt the place. Kate made a startling discovery a few days later. When flipping through a booklet that employees used to leave notes to one another, she noticed a sketch between two of the note-taking pages. Upon closer inspection, she was stunned to see a drawing of the Phantom Schoolgirl in the lower right-hand corner of the page. Scrawled in pen, the spooky drawing resembled the ghostly girl to a T, right down to the school books. Also disturbing was the fact that sketches of immense flames filled up the rest of the page. Kate assumed it was one of the sketches created by an absent-minded employee who enjoyed doodling. Upon questioning, this man explained that the drawing was the result of a sudden inspiration he had experienced. He had never actually heard of or seen the ghostly girl with the school books, but was inspired by some mysterious force to draw her and the flames in detail. When Kate told him about the ghost and the rumors of her death in a fire, the colleague was, of course, deeply disturbed. Had the ghost somehow entered his mind and prompted him to draw her? Kate never experienced the Phantom Schoolgirl a second time, but according to the authors of the story, long after quitting the Cinémathèque Québécoise, she could not forget her uncanny encounter with the paranormal that fateful October night in 2005. Whether or not there have been any more recent sightings of the Phantom Schoolgirl is unknown. Whatever the case, until the Phantom Schoolgirl makes another appearance at the Cinémathèque Québécoise, this is one ghostly tale that will likely continue to baffle Montrealers due to the mysteries surrounding it. Are you a Montreal resident, or perhaps a tourist who has experienced something strange at the Cinémathèque Québécoise? If so, we'd love to know. As always, we want to hear your theories about what could be going on. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first video, we do hope that you'll stick around. We post videos in French and English every Saturday. If you'd like to learn more about the organization founded by Donovan King, the link is in the description below, along with links to purchase tickets to in-person haunted storytelling tours. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll have a new video out next Saturday. But until then, stay spooky.